Hello everybody and welcome to the last episode of Mace Griffin. Yes, it is here, the end of our long and weird space adventure. And we are going to begin the end to this game with a boss fight.
Humans. Persistence is one of your more irritating traits. But this time, I'll finish the job.
Okay, let me stop the video right here to explain the Ghost Reactor boss fight. Ghost Reactor has a purple shield and he's actually the only enemy in the game that has such a shield. The purple shield is very resilient and can stand up to a lot of punishment, basically what you would expect from a boss fight. He is armed with a sonic cannon and also throws grenades at you, so no matter what you do, he will basically kill you in 2 hits. Yeah, this is also the reason why I died a couple of times trying out this boss fight. Like, if you want to fight him fair, which includes like taking cover behind the obstacles around here and trading shots with him, you will not win this. The problem is that his shield can take so much damage and will actually recharge. So if you engage in a game of cat and mouse behind cover, his shield will always recharge and you will get nowhere. So the right solution to this fight is to use a burst of focused violence against Reactor, and that's what I'm going to do.
You're so dead.
His death cutscene is so ridiculous and drawn out, it's great. Well, and Ghost Reactor finally got what he deserved. Very important to add a cutscene for picking up the disc. And now all that is left to do is to blow up the Watcher station. There are still a few Watchers between us and the generator, but it's not too bad. I want to quickly bring up the fact that one of the posters in my thread had an interesting opinion about the last section of this level. They speculated that the developers maybe wanted you to just run past all the ghosts and that is the reason for why they are so difficult. I think that this surely is a valid opinion, because in a lot of ways it would make sense. Like, Mace is on this big ass ship full of ghosts and his primary mission isn't exactly to kill each and every one of them by hand, but to like accomplish his mission objectives and to destroy the Watchers with other means. I think you could say it like that. And also, I didn't point this out in the last video, but the Watchers actually can't open doors, so that is what allows you to run away from all of them. But on the other hand, this game has so much jank and like unfinished designs that it also could just be that, janky unfinished design. But in the end, we will just never know. Only Warthog knows. And here we arrive at the Watcher fighter that we are going to use to get around in the last section of this level. This is also like the last fuck you the developers gave the players. The shitty thing is that the hitbox of the Watcher fighter just barely fits through the tunnels in this ship. You have to fly very carefully, otherwise you will immediately crash, and since the tunnels are so narrow, crashing once usually snowballs into many more crashes, which will then kill you. Yeah, it's another one of those annoying things that just make you play a section over and over for no real reason. Like, you will see how careful I am making my way through here, and it's not only because I'm afraid of snowball crashing, but it's also because I really don't want to take any damage, because as you can maybe guess, we have to flee the station with the fighter at the very end. And yeah, you want to have all your health for that, and this is also another matter that I'm going to discuss when it comes up. You can already hear it in the tone of my voice, can't you? Well, whatever. For now, enjoy me snailing my way through these fucking tunnels. And here we are at the reactor chamber. The reactor is currently protected by a force field, but conveniently the controls are located right next to it. With the shield removed, we can freely shoot the generator. Yeah, that's a Mace Griffin plan, alright. Now, the first thing that you want to do before you shoot the generator is to position your ship in front of the door so that you can immediately move out. This will give you a little head start that you probably will need, but I don't want to spoil too much of what will happen, so let's just hang back and see how this plays out. Just a scratch, nothing major. Still going fine, no problem, come on. And here's the snowball. It's also great that the door doesn't open fast enough. Obviously I had to play this section a couple of times till I had memorized the flight path that I need to take. And another dick move here is that you don't really know where you have to go, because there are a couple of doors that you can fly through that will lead to dead ends. So yeah, enjoy more trial and error. God damn it.
I think we better get out of here.
Members of the Senate, I have here the preliminary findings of the investigation. The Wagner system was indeed the target of a malevolent alien species known as the Watchers. An invasion was imminent, but that threat has now been eradicated. A pact between the Watchers and the Tannen Corporation had existed since the discovery of the Wagner system. This pact involved the supply of human hosts by the corporation in return for advanced technology from the Watchers. The hosts were provided by the Order of Virtual Light, a wholly corrupt organization which was covertly set up by the Tannen Corporation. The Tannen Corporation board has been arrested and its assets seized. We have also started the dismantling of the Order of Virtual Light. To counter the threat of further Watcher activity, we have sanctioned the reforming of the Rangers. Let it not be forgotten. that this whole conspiracy was exposed by a handful of individuals, the majority of which laid down their lives. Their sacrifices will not be in vain.
And that's it. That was the ending that we worked so hard for. Did you like it? Okay, to be honest, I don't think that the ending is bad, but I also don't think that it's good. It's like just an ending. There's really not too much to say about it. Some of your questions about the relationship between the Tenant Corporation, the Watchers and the Order of Virtual Light are answered. But yeah, that's pretty much all we are left with. At least it's not a cheap sequel hook or something like that, so yeah, that's good. Also, I really like that the ghost of the Krugo gave us another thumbs up from Beyond the Grave. This game really has a lot of ghosts in it, if you think about it. Well, at this point, the main question is, was Mace Griffin a good game? Hell no. It really wasn't. I wish I could say otherwise, but come on, we've all seen it. It's not a good game. It's a bundle of good ideas and intentions, and that's for fucking sure. But yeah, the execution is just poorly. Well, but to be fair, Warthog had no experience with FPS games before, so that is the reason why they didn't really know how to make a good FPS game. Or rather, a good FPS section. Yeah, I think we could call it like that. Because this game has its moments when it comes to the combat, but ultimately I think the majority of the combat is also its downfall. Because all those damn sniper sections are so fucking boring. And even the frantic combat sections can get tedious if they drag on for too long. Which is another problem that I have with the game. Basically every level drags on for way too long. And yeah, the most obvious complaint that I have is about the disjointed plot that also like leaves you with a lot of things in the air. You can speculate a lot about stuff in this game, but I think it's kind of a lazy route to take from the developers. I would guess that the design documents held a lot more information in them than what we got in the end. Especially when it comes to the Watchers, like it's just a bunch of unresolved questions and threads that hang in the air, and I really don't like that. But it's not all bad, as said. This game surely has its moments. And the visual design is still fucking great. I really like it. I mean, really, whatever you may think about the rest of the game, you can't really knock the visual design. And you also have to respect the developers for providing you with different settings for almost every mission with like unique objects and looks. That's pretty impressive. Come on, be honest. And lastly, the space combat portion of this game is also top-notch. It gets sorta boring in the long run of the game, because at some point you just have seen all that it has to offer, and there maybe isn't much that the developers could have done to shake it up. But at least from the standpoint of the technical design, it's pretty good. So yeah, I think that about sums up my feelings on this game. Thank you all for watching and following along, and especially thanks to Evil Twin and Lazy Fire for joining me. It was real good fun. And if you have seen any of my previous LPs, then you know that after the credits I will do my own shout-out credits to the thread. So yeah, stick around if you want to see your name immortalized at the end of this video. Okay, that's it. Bye bye, until next time, whenever that will be.
He sleeps alone, he needs no armor.